Count Saint Germain remains one of the most fascinating and mysterious figures to have ever walked the corridors of European history. His story is a complex weave of documented facts, eyewitness accounts, myths, and legends that blur the boundaries between reality and fantasy. Far from being just another nobleman, he is often portrayed as an immortal being, a master of the esoteric arts, a brilliant linguist, an accomplished artist, and an alchemist who may have held the secret to eternal life. The aura of mystery surrounding him continues to captivate historians, mystics, and seekers of hidden knowledge even today. The true origins of Count Saint Germain are lost in the mists of time. There is no consensus on his birthplace, birth date, or even his real name. Some speculate he was born sometime in the late 1600s or early 1700s, but others argue that these dates could be centuries off, possibly by hundreds or even thousands of years. Among the more popular theories is that he was the illegitimate son of Prince Francis II Rákóczi of Transylvania, a historical figure who led a rebellion against the Habsburgs. However, this connection is tenuous, as historical documents provide no concrete proof. Other theories suggest he might have been of Jewish descent or linked to various European noble families. But again, no clear evidence supports these claims. More astonishing are the wild legends asserting that he was a timeless being who had witnessed biblical events, including the wedding at Cana, where Jesus turned water into wine. If true, such claims would make Saint Germain a man who transcended time itself, living through centuries and possibly millennia. His extraordinary mastery of languages is well documented by contemporary accounts. Saint Germain reportedly spoke with fluency an astonishing array of languages: French, German, Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, English, Russian, Latin, Greek, Arabic, Chinese, and even Sanskrit. This linguistic skill was exceptional at a time when international travel was difficult and linguistic barriers rigid. He was said to read ancient manuscripts effortlessly and to hold intelligent conversations with scholars, nobles, and monarchs from vastly different cultures. His gift for languages allowed him to gain access to rare knowledge and secret wisdom, making him a prized guest in royal courts across Europe. But Saint Germain's talents went far beyond languages. He was a true Renaissance man, an accomplished musician and composer. Historical records and eyewitness accounts speak of his virtuosity on the violin, mesmerizing audiences with his profound musical performances that often moved listeners to tears. His compositions, although only fragments survive, were considered masterpieces, comparable to those of the great composers of his time. Beyond music, he was also a painter of delicate and intricate works, some of which were highly prized by European nobility. Saint Germain was also known as a skilled conversationalist and a man of encyclopedic knowledge, with deep understanding of history, science, philosophy, and alchemy. Such a breadth of knowledge suggested a lifelong dedication to learning and possibly access to secret or forbidden texts that few others could comprehend. Central to the legend of Count Saint Germain is the claim of his immortality or, at the very least, an extraordinarily prolonged lifespan. Numerous contemporary witnesses described him as a man who never aged. Over several decades, sometimes even centuries, his physical appearance remained remarkably consistent, defying the natural aging process. Those who met him observed that he did not consume food or drink like ordinary humans. Instead, he was said to consume a mysterious pill along with simple bread and porridge. Some speculated he could subsist without conventional sustenance altogether, living as if sustained by some hidden energy or alchemical secret. Equally legendary were his alchemical abilities. Saint Germain was rumored to possess the ability to transmute base metals such as lead and iron into pure gold, a dream pursued by alchemists for centuries. He was also said to manipulate precious stones in ways that defied the natural laws, melting diamonds or fusing smaller gems into larger flawless diamonds, enlarging pearls in ways that astonished jewelers. Such skills earned him immense respect and suspicion among European elites, many of whom sought his favor or feared his power. Historians also link Saint Germain with various secret societies that wielded considerable influence in Europe. He was believed to be involved with the Rosicrucians, an enigmatic brotherhood dedicated to mystical and alchemical knowledge. He was also rumored to be a member of the Freemasons and the Illuminati, groups often associated with secret wisdom and political influence. Records mention his attendance at Masonic lodges, and he was said to have served as a delegate at their congresses. Such connections helped explain his access to royal courts and influential figures such as King Louis XIV of France, Queen Marie Antoinette, and many other European aristocrats. Accounts by notable contemporaries add to the mystique. Horace Walpole, a respected writer and politician, described Saint Germain as a man of extraordinary talents and deep intelligence, fluent in many languages and possessing knowledge that seemed almost supernatural. Voltaire, the famous philosopher, hinted that Saint Germain might be immortal or possess an extraordinary lifespan, referring to him as a wonderful man with knowledge far beyond the ordinary. Saint Germain's reputed skills extended into the realm of science and mysticism. It was said that he could manipulate matter at the atomic level, performing feats akin to modern chemistry and physics, but veiled in the language of alchemy. He could create rare substances, transform metals, and perhaps most intriguingly, manipulate the very essence of life itself. Some legends suggest he had knowledge of DNA manipulation, although DNA was unknown at the time, which he allegedly used to extend human longevity. This link between alchemy and immortality resonates with the ancient quest of figures like Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China, who desperately sought elixirs of life using mercury and other substances. In fact, mercury plays a significant role in alchemical traditions and the quest for immortality. Ancient alchemists believed that mercury could prevent the soul from leaving the body, thus granting eternal life. Although modern science reveals mercury to be highly toxic, in the context of Saint Germain's time, it was revered as a mystical substance. Some speculate that Saint Germain had found ways to harness mercury's properties safely, or that he used secret formulas to create elixirs that prolonged life and preserved youth. Saint Germain's presence was frequently recorded at lavish parties and royal events across Europe, especially in France and England during the mid-18th century. One famous anecdote tells of a ball held by Madame de Pompadour, mistress to King Louis XV. Here, an elderly Countess Jeanne d'Arc reportedly recognized Saint Germain, remarking that he looked the same as when she first met him in Venice decades earlier. This baffled many and fueled further rumors of his timelessness. Saint Germain also had a reputation for his diplomatic skills and philosophical insight. He was consulted on political matters and sometimes acted as a mediator in delicate negotiations between European powers. His wisdom and charm allowed him to maintain relationships with many royal families, influencing events quietly behind the scenes. The alchemist's reputed knowledge extended to the manipulation of gemstones and metals, but also to more subtle energies, the vital forces of life. He was said to create and use talismans, sacred symbols, and secret rituals to enhance his power and protect his longevity. These practices aligned with the mystical traditions of the Kabbalah, Hermeticism, and Eastern philosophies, suggesting that Saint Germain was not just a man of science, but a spiritual adept. Despite the enormous fame and influence, Saint Germain's true identity was never fully revealed. Some modern researchers suggest that he might have been a composite figure, a combination of several individuals whose stories merged over time. Others believe he was a genuine immortal being or a highly advanced spiritual master who chose to remain in the shadows, guiding humanity subtly. Even after his supposed death in 1784, sightings and rumors of Saint Germain continued to surface in the 19th and 20th centuries. Some claim to have met him in mysterious circumstances, describing him as unchanged by time, appearing as a well-dressed gentleman with a youthful glow. These posthumous sightings cemented his status as an eternal figure. The story of Count Saint Germain is a tapestry of human desire. The longing for eternal youth, the quest for secret knowledge, and the dream of transcending mortality. His life challenges us to reconsider the boundaries of history and legend, reality and myth. Whether a historical figure or a mythic archetype, Saint Germain embodies humanity's eternal hope to unlock the mysteries of life and death. Today, his legend inspires countless works of literature, art, and esoteric studies. From secret societies to New Age mysticism, Saint Germain is often cited as a guide or ascended master who helps those seeking enlightenment and spiritual growth. His enigmatic figure continues to provoke curiosity, debate, and fascination, an immortal enigma in the river of time. Exploring his story is more than a historical investigation. It's a journey into the deepest human hopes and fears, the pursuit of wisdom beyond the ordinary, and the dream that one day we might conquer time itself.